Dead Sea Scrolls. Leviticus. For Q17 Leviticus F. Language, Hebrew. Date, 250 to 200 BC. Location, Qumran Cave 4. Leviticus 1:13 But the innards and the legs he shall wash with water. The priest shall offer the whole, and burn it on the altar. It is a burnt offering, an offering made by fire, of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. 14 If his offering to Yahweh is a burnt offering of birds, then he shall offer his offering of turtle doves or of young pigeons. 15 The priest shall bring it to the altar, and wring off its head, and burn it on the altar, and its blood shall be drained out on the side of the altar. 17 He shall tear it by its wings, but shall not divide it apart. The priest shall burn it on the altar, on the wood that is on the fire. It is a burnt offering, an offering made by fire, of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. Leviticus 2:1 When anyone offers an offering of a meal offering to Yahweh, his offering shall be of fine flour. He shall pour oil on it, and put frankincense on it. It is a meal offering. 1. The word order in the scroll is different from the MT, Q23 Leviticus Numbers 8 Language, Hebrew. Date, 150 to 75 BC. Location, Qumran Cave 4. Leviticus 13:32 On the seventh day the priest shall examine the plague, and behold, if the itch hasn't spread, and there is no yellow hair in it, and the appearance of the itch isn't deeper than the skin. 33 Then he shall be shaved, but he shall not shave the itch. Then the priest shall isolate the one who has the itch 7 more days. Leviticus 14:22 And 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to afford, and the one shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering. 23 On the 8th day he shall bring them for his cleansing to the priest, to the door of the tent of meeting, before Yahweh. 25 He shall kill the lamb of the trespass offering. The priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering and put it on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. 26 The priest shall pour some of the oil into the palm of his own left hand. 27 And the priest shall sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before Yahweh. 28 Then the priest shall put some of the oil that is in his hand on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of 1 his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot, on the place of the blood of the trespass offering. 29 The rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall put on the head of him who is to be cleansed, to make atonement for him before Yahweh. 30 He shall offer one of the turtle doves, or of the young pigeons, whichever he is able to afford, 31 of the kind he is able to afford, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, with the meal offering. The priest shall make atonement for him who is to be cleansed before Yahweh. 32 This is the law for him in whom is the plague of leprosy, who is not able to afford the sacrifice for his cleansing. 33 Yahweh spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, 34 When you have come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for a possession, and I put a spreading mildew in a house in the land of your possession. 40 Then the priest shall command that they take out the stones in which is the plague, and cast them into an unclean place outside of the city. 41 He shall cause the inside of the house to be scraped all over. They shall pour out the mortar that they scraped off outside of the city into an unclean place. 42 They shall take other stones, and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar, and shall plaster the house. 43 If the plague comes again, and breaks out in the house after he has taken out the stones, and after he has plastered the house. 44 Then the priest shall come in and look, and behold, if the plague has spread in the house, it is a destructive mildew in the house. It is unclean. 45 They shall break down the house, its stones, and its timber, and all the house's mortar. He shall carry them out of the city into an unclean place. 46 Moreover he who goes into the house while it is shut up shall be unclean until the evening. 47 He who lies down in the house shall wash his clothes, and he who eats in the house shall wash his clothes. 48 If the priest shall come in, and examine it, and behold, the plague hasn't spread in the house, after the house was plastered. Then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. 49 To cleanse the house he shall take 2 birds, cedar wood, scarlet, and hyssop. 50 They shall kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. 51 He shall take the cedar wood, the hyssop, the scarlet, and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird, and in the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. 52 He shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, with the living bird, with the cedar wood, with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. 53 But he shall let the living bird go out of the city into the open field. So shall he make atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. 54 This is the law for any plague of leprosy, and for an itch. Leviticus 15:10 Whoever touches anything that was under him shall be unclean until the evening. He who carries those things shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. 11 Whoever he who has the discharge touches, without having rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. 19 If a woman has a discharge, and her discharge in her flesh is blood, she shall be in her impurity 7 days. Whoever touches her shall be unclean until the evening. 20 Everything that she lies on in her impurity shall be unclean. Everything also that she sits on shall be unclean. 21 Whoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. 22 Whoever touches anything that she sits on shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. 23 If it is on the bed, or on anything whereon she sits, when he touches it, he shall be unclean until the evening. 24 If any man lies with her, and her monthly flow is on him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and every bed whereon he lies shall be unclean. Leviticus 16:15 Then he shall kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with his blood as he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. 16 He shall make atonement for the holy place, because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions, even all their sins, and so he shall do for the tent of meeting that dwells with them in the middle of their uncleanness. 17 No one shall be in the tent of meeting when he enters to make atonement in the holy place, until he comes out, and has made atonement for himself and for his household, and for all the assembly of Israel. 18 He shall go out to the altar that is before Yahweh and make atonement for it, and shall take some of the bull's blood, and some of the goat's blood, and put it around on the horns of the altar. 19 He shall sprinkle some of the blood on it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and make it holy from the uncleanness of the children of Israel. 20 When he has finished atoning for the holy place, the tent of meeting, and the altar, he shall present the live goat. 21 Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat, and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions, even all their sins, and he shall put them on the head of the goat, and shall send him away into the wilderness by the hand of a man who is ready. 22 The goat shall carry all their iniquities on himself to a solitary land, and he shall release the goat in the wilderness. 23 Aaron shall come into the tent of meeting, and shall take off the linen garments which he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. 24 Then he shall bathe himself in water in a holy place, put on his garments, and come out and offer his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people, and make atonement for himself and for the people. 25 The fat of the sin offering he shall burn on the altar. 26 He who lets the goat go as the scapegoat shall wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp. 27 The bull for the sin offering, and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy place, shall be carried outside the camp, and they shall burn their skins, their flesh, and their dung with fire. 28 He who burns them shall wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp. 29 It shall be a statute to you forever, in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you shall afflict your souls, and shall do no kind of work, whether native-born or a stranger who lives as a foreigner among you. Leviticus 18:16 You shall not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. It is your brother's nakedness. 17 You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. You shall not take her son's daughter, or her daughter's daughter, to uncover her nakedness. They are near kinswomen. It is wickedness. 18 You shall not take a wife in addition to her sister, to be a rival, to uncover her nakedness, while her sister is still alive. 19 You shall not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is impure by her uncleanness. 21 You shall not give any of your children as a sacrifice to Molech. You shall not profane the name of your God. I am Yahweh. Leviticus 19:3 Each one of you shall respect his mother and his father. You shall keep my Sabbaths. I am Yahweh your God. 4 Don't turn to idols, nor make molten gods for yourselves. I am Yahweh your God. 5 When you offer a sacrifice of peace offerings to Yahweh, you shall offer it so that you may be accepted. 6 It shall be eaten the same day you offer it, and on the next day. If anything remains until the third day, it shall be burned with fire. 7 If it is eaten at all on the third day, it is an abomination. It will not be accepted. 8 But everyone who eats it shall bear his iniquity, because he has profaned the holy thing of Yahweh, and that soul shall be cut off from his people. Leviticus 24:11 The son of the Israelite woman blasphemed the name, and cursed, and they brought him to Moses. His mother's name was Shelemith, the daughter of Dibri, of the tribe of Dan. 12 They put him in custody, until Yahweh's will should be declared to them. Leviticus 26:26 When I break your staff of bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver your bread again by weight. You shall eat, and not be satisfied. 28 Then I will walk contrary to you in wrath. I will also chastise you 7 times for your sins. 29 You will eat the flesh of your sons, and you will eat the flesh of your daughters. 30 I will destroy your high places, and cut down your incense altars, and cast your dead bodies upon the bodies of your idols, and my soul will abhor you. 31 I will lay your cities waste, and will bring your sanctuaries to desolation. I will not take delight in the sweet fragrance of your offerings. 32 I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies that dwell in it will be astonished at it. 33 I will scatter you among the nations, and I will draw out the sword after you. Your land will be a desolation, and your cities shall be a waste. Leviticus 27:5 If the person is from 5 years old to 20 years old, then your valuation shall be for a male 20 shekels, and for a female 10 shekels. 6 If the person is from a month old to 5 years old, then your valuation shall be for a male 5 shekels of silver, and for a female your valuation shall be 3 shekels of silver. 7 If the person is from 60 years old and upward, if he is a male, then your valuation shall be 15 shekels, and for a female 10 shekels. 8 But if he is poorer than your valuation, then he shall be set before the priest, and the priest shall assign a value to him. The priest shall assign a value according to his ability to pay. 9 If it is an animal of which men offer an offering to Yahweh, all that any man gives of such to Yahweh becomes holy. 10 He shall not alter it, nor exchange it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. If he shall at all exchange animal for animal, then both it and that for which it is exchanged shall be holy. 11 If it is any unclean animal, of which they do not offer as an offering to Yahweh, then he shall set the animal before the priest. 12 And the priest shall evaluate it, whether it is good or bad. As you the priest evaluates it, so shall it be. 13 But if he will indeed redeem it, then he shall add the 5th part of it to its valuation. 14 When a man dedicates his house to be holy to Yahweh, then the priest shall evaluate it, whether it is good or bad. As the priest evaluates it, so shall it stand. 15 If he who dedicates it will redeem his house, then he shall add the 5th part of the money of your valuation to it, and it shall be his. 16 If a man dedicates to Yahweh part of the field of his possession, then your valuation shall be according to the seed for it. The sowing of a homer of barley shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver. 17 And if he dedicates his field from the year of Jubilee, according to your valuation it shall stand. 18 But if he dedicates his field after the Jubilee, then the priest shall reckon to him the money according to the years that remain to the year of Jubilee, and an abatement shall be made from your valuation. 19 If he who dedicated the field will indeed redeem it, then he shall add the 5th part of the money of your valuation to it, and it shall remain his. 20 If he will not redeem the field, or if he has sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed any more. 21 But the field, when it goes out in the Jubilee, shall be holy to Yahweh, as a devoted field. It shall be owned by the priests. 22 If he dedicates a field to Yahweh which he has bought, which is not of the field of his possession,